All right, guys. So we are here today. It is quad witching day. I know I'm a little bit late. My bad. We are here, and yeah. What's going on with NVDA? Probably not too much. I mean, it's probably just pulling back slightly. Like if we look at NVIDIA here, again, I don't think it's unreasonable to expect a pullback. I don't know how much it's going to pull back. It depends on how much it pulls back in general, There's the SPY, there's the Q, there's GameStop. GameStop up a little bit. Alright, vote on the poll. Alright, so I don't think we have any economic data today either. Let me make sure. Oh, we do have economic data. We have manufacturing and services PMI today, so we'll switch that up. Wait, so they're saying the Fed monetary policy report is today. Is Jerome Powell for sure speaking, or is this not Powell? Let me check the FOMC calendar. I don't think Powell's speaking. Yeah, I don't think he's speaking today. Because I see the I see Bloomberg has it scheduled, but I don't see anybody else having it scheduled. It's supposed to be on the Senate Committee on Banking. Housing and Urban Affairs. So yeah, I don't think this is today. Not unless they have a schedule going on. Let me see. Markups, newsroom, contact resources. Because AI definitely doesn't help. This is weird. I don't see it scheduled anywhere. Do you know what the insanely high IV IV stands for those that don't know, implied volatility in the money, 0 day to expiry options. Yeah, so I'm looking at the monetary policy report. We'll see how this affects everything. Tesla, yeah, hold on. So we do get another monetary policy report today at 11. But yeah, it's quad wishing day, so we're gonna get a higher volatility just from that alone. Probably. Tesla, yeah, let's take a look. So Tesla here. Tesla's been very flat, you know, probably leading into earnings season, I'm guessing. It's at 180s. I know, we call it, it's still called quad witching. Yeah, so again, y'all can help me out. I see the monetary policy report scheduled on Bloomberg, but weird. So who knows when Powell's going to come through with the monetary policy report? What about July? No. August. So I thought Powell's supposed to speak in front of Congress sometime soon, man. Because okay, so every twice a year, the Fed is supposed to do what's called the semi-annual monetary policy report to Congress, where Powell testifies in front of the House and Senate on the economy, and they kind of drill him about questions regarding the economy. You know, last year the second one was March 15th. This month we have nothing like that scheduled, but like Bloomberg, for instance, has 11 a.m. today as the monetary policy report. But yeah, I'm trying to see if Powell speaks every time for this report. What's up, Kimberly? What's up, Yair? What's up, Bob, Joseph, Egon, Mike, Goose, Pawn, everybody else. Yeah, so I'm trying to see here. I'm looking at Market Watch. I don't think Market Watch has it for today as well. Yeah. But yeah, I can't find Powell doing the semi-annual monetary policy report to Congress. Oh, they are doing it today, dude. Or no. This was last year. Yeah, I'm looking at the House Services website. They have Gary G., SEC chair, his equity market structure reforms. What is this about? So Thursday, June 27th, there's a hearing titled Solutions in Search of a Problem. Chair Gary Gensler's Equity Market Structure Reforms. What is this? See if AI helps me out here. GameStop, yeah, GameStop over 25s. Let's see if it holds. What's up, Andy? All right, guys. So, yeah, it's quad witching day. We did a poll here. 51% are bullish, 50% are bearish. So we're pretty split down the middle on the poll. Hey, what's up, NDX? What's up, Ivan? Anything scheduled for next week? Yeah, next week we have GDP data, PCE data. Yeah, but we got a bunch of stuff next week. Next week, we have the Case-Shiller, CB Consumer Confidence, new home sales, jobless claims, GDP data, durable goods, pending home sales, personal income, PCE data, Chicago PMI, and consumer sentiment data, Michigan consumer sentiment data. And then the next week will be busy because the next week we're going to have CPI. Or no. No, wrong. Sorry. The next week, actually, we have non-farm payrolls unemployment is what's after that. So, yeah. Again, it's weird, though. I'm usually looking for Powell speeches, man. Yeah, so we got ISM Manufacturing and Services today. Not ISM, I mean. Yeah, so next week's busy. Next week we got the JOLTS report. Non-farm employment services PMI, ISM manufacturing PMI, and then non-farm employment, non-farm payrolls. So Tesla knew yesterday of 32% and 37% lower in sales in Europe last month, looking like earnings in a month will not be so great. Maybe. Yeah, Tesla down a little bit. It's still over 180s though, so that's good. Yeah, it's all good. What's up, Beach Bum? Yeah, so I'm looking up this report. Typically, sometimes it's in July. So I looked up the last 4 years. Sometimes it is in July. Why am I bearish today? I don't know. It's quad witching day. Maybe that's why. Yeah, I'm looking at the stock market news today. See what we get. CarMax did release earnings. Amazon is said to be mulling a $5 to $10 a month fee for Alexa with revamped AI. According to Reuters sources, plans 2 pricing tiers could come as soon as August for Amazon. So they're expecting to bump up Alexa prices. What's up, Sam? Good morning, man. No. Certified deposit, Treasury bill, ETF like T-bill. I mean, they're all going to get you virtually the same thing. It depends on how much they're paying out, because okay, so like you could do a certified deposit, right? But moving money from bank account to bank account is going to take like, and usually here's the thing about CDs is that they're usually not going to pay you out for a year. So they might pay you for 3 months, and then you're gonna have to move it to another bank and another CD, and it's gonna be a constant process where you can actually make more interest. You can make much more interest just buying the Treasury bill ETF. You know, they're gonna pay you monthly dividends in your interest payments and monthly dividends, and it's gonna be a lot less work, and you're gonna get higher interest, right? So CDs are cool, but like you can make more from Treasury bills and the ETF of Treasury bills with less work. You know, CDs, the problem is like banks want you to put their money there, and so they understand that they can't say, hey, we got a 12-month annual interest of 4.5%. You know, like right now, if you buy T-bill, you're making yeah, so annually, so the annual dividend is $2.63 a share. Okay, so like right now, T-bill, if you put it, it's at about $50. You know, so like right now, every share you get is $50. So it's gonna be, you're gonna get a little bit over 5%, really. Yeah, you're getting a little bit over 5% right now. So right now, what is it? 263 is the annual dividend. Versus 50. Yeah, you're getting 5.26%. Like a little bit over 5% right now, investing in TBIL. And you're going to get that broken up into monthly dividend payments. So You know, and the good thing about like yeah, with CDs you could basically transfer at any time, and that's great. But you could also just sell these anytime you want as well, and liquidate your account. So like, to be honest, I have 600 of these because I've got some money that's just sitting. So I've got 600 of these, and so on this position that you see here, on this position that you see here, they're gonna pay me just in interest payments. I'm gonna get $600 times, or no, 600 times 50, which is 30K, times times 5.2 something percent. So annually out of this payment, they're gonna pay me annually from this. They're gonna pay me. Let me do the math really quick. Annually, they're gonna pay me, you know, $1,600. You know, which is about 5%. You know, a little bit over 5%. So in terms of monthly payouts just from this 30K that I have parked here, they're gonna pay me $130 a month in interest. So I mean, it's not bad. You know, it's not bad. You're gonna get paid at least, and you could sell it whenever you want. You know, which is the great part about it. Like anytime I want, I'm not stuck in this. I can liquidate it, withdraw, and toss has 0 fees. You know. Again, I'm not telling you guys to buy anything. Somebody showed me this the other day, and I've got money sitting in my account, so you know what the heck, might as well. I mean, you're gonna earn more money investing in an index fund, most likely. But if you got money sitting that you want no risk with, this is nice. Well, yeah, I mean, you're gonna get taxed capital gains on your bank money too. So like, if you do this with a certified deposit, they're gonna do the same thing to you. You know, they're gonna send you a 1099 if you make enough. But again, everybody's different, man. Like, I've got money sitting in this account, so I might as well use it, right? And then if I decide not to use it, I can. If I decide I want to use it for something else, I can sell it and buy something else. You know, that's my logic here. You know, with that said, actually, I'll probably buy a little bit more. Right, so this is 30K. I'll buy another 30K because I got enough sitting in this account. All right. So yeah, that's 60K. Probably do a little bit more than that. Let's try. Alright, there we go. Yeah, so now we got 1,400 of these, so we got about 70K worth, which is a nice little position. And again, 70K, with 70K, they're gonna pay me about, you know, a little bit under $4,000 a month. A little bit under $4,000 a month with 70K, and so they're gonna pay me this much a year in interest payments, right? But it's gonna be in the form of monthly dividends, so they're gonna pay me over $300 a year just to park my money here. And if I ever decide not to park my money here, I could just sell these, liquidate it, and get out. You know. Yeah. Oh, I definitely pay my taxes. I overpay my taxes, man. Yeah, so MU came from 80 since last earnings. It's up huge. An analyst said MU and Supermicro Semiconductors are the best alt AI plays, and they both went up stupid last week. $4K a month, your math is wrong. $4K a month, bro. No. I mean, C tolls. So listen, bro. Just let me get this straight. Okay, so you're arguing that me buying this ETF is going to pay me 5% monthly in dividend payments. Is that what you're arguing? You know? Listen, if it does, sign me up, bro. Sign me up, dude. Of course it does it. It's annualized, sir. Listen, if you're ever looking at a CD or a treasury bill or anything that pays you an interest rate, you know, usually it's going to be around like 5%, 4.5%, 4.25%. It's going to be something like that, right? Anytime you're looking at that, it's annualized. And so if you've got a CD, a bank saying that they're going to pay you a CD of 4%, you know, 5%, let's just say 5%. You got a bank saying, hey, we'll pay you a 5% interest rate. You know, you just got to hold your money there for 6 months, right? They're not paying you 5% in 6 months. They're paying you half of that because it's annualized. So you're going to really make 2.5% in 6 months because that interest rate that you're looking at is annualized. Okay, that's the same thing here. They're not paying me 5% a month. If they were, I would marry them, you know, but they're not. Okay, they're paying me 5%, a little bit over 5% annualized. And so, again, that's where my math was. I don't know if I misspoke. If I did, it's my fault and I'm the dummy. So. I might have said per month and then divided it by 12. Maybe I did say a month. If I did, I'm the dummy. So, yeah. If that was the case, freaking sign me up. It's all love here, guys. It's all love. If that was my mistake, my mistake. But I would love that. Imagine making 60% a year. You know, dude, everybody would sign up. Freaking Warren Buffett would be buying this thing. You know. Yeah, so sorry, it's not 4K a month. It's 4K a year. It's 4K annually. Sorry. My mistake. I'm right, or y'all were right, I'm wrong. Y'all were smart, I'm dumb. Y'all were very good looking, I'm not attractive, guys. All right, I'm sorry. But yeah, point is, if you got money sitting, why not let it work a little bit for you, you know? Where's Apple at? Apple at 210s this morning. Dipped a little bit yesterday. A lot of stuff pulled back yesterday. I think it was time. Stuff was up so much. It was just unreasonable amounts. You know, again, like, to put this into perspective, chat, like, you are going to make more money just investing in the S&P. You know, investing in the S&P, you're going to get 8 to 10% a year. We'll go ahead and average it out to just say, let's say 9%. And so say I invested that same 70K. You know, say I invested that same 70K, but instead I invested it into the S&P 500. I'm going to make 9% roughly a year, you know. And so in 10 years, that 70K is going to turn into 165K. In 20 years, that 70K is going to turn into almost 400K in 30 years. With compounding, that is, it's going to turn into almost $1 million. Okay, which is the power of compounding. If you ever hear Warren Buffett say compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world or whatever he says, this is what he's referring to, which is that compounding in index funds is the most powerful market tool that you could have, right? Better than day trading, better than, whatever you want to look at. Compound interest is better, almost certainly. And so again, like I might make small little bond income with my bonds, but as long and so my jiu-jitsu coach was actually talking to me about this. So like my jiu-jitsu coach asked me what I do, and I kind of told him, and I told him not to tell it anybody like I always do, because I don't like people knowing. Because then they start coming on, they start messing with me or whatever. But he said he was getting some money, and he didn't know what to do with it. What I told him was the same thing. I was like, look, dude, you get money. If you're okay with letting it sit, you got 10 plus years, put in an index fund, put in the Dow, put in the NASDAQ, put in the S&P, let that money sit. You'll earn 8 to 10% a year. The only risk is if you need to like liquidate it immediately. If you get stuck in if you get stuck in a crash or a bear market, you might have to wait. But if you got time, that's the move, I think. If you're not, everybody here, if you're not diversifying your money into the market long-term and index funds specifically, or, whatever you want to buy, you're making a mistake. You got to hedge against inflation. What's good to keep cash in your portfolio, in your opinion? What do you mean? Yeah, you could probably buy it in a Roth and not pay taxes, I would assume, Ron. Yeah, cash is good unless you're sitting on it for 5+ years. Then you're making a mistake, in my opinion. Again, I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. Always make your own assessment. Do this responsibly. I am not an investment professional, chat. Okay. But cash is good within reason. Sitting on cash, being risk averse in sketchy markets is fine. Right? The problem is that people let fear drive them, and they think every market is sketchy. Like, people have been telling us the market has been extended for 3 years now. 3 years they've been saying this. In that period of time, the S&P has gone up 40%. 40%. Those are those generational gains that you need to take advantage of. And the reason you get so many bearish traders out here mad is because they missed it. They missed these gains. They missed the biggest generational gain of the market by being overly skeptical, regarding technology and AI, and they missed it. And so, of course, what do they say? The confirmation bias says, oh, well, it's too extended. And maybe now it is, right? But now the move is essentially done. Everything's basically done. Market's broken lifetime highs numerous times. And so it's important for people to understand cash is good within reason, cash is good within reason. You can't be overly skeptical and never make a position, always be sitting on cash like it's a good thing. It's not. If you sit on cash, you're going to lose tons of money to inflation long term. Tons of money to inflation. Imagine how much prices have gone up over the last 5 years. A lot of people's gains are freaking flat because of inflation, which is kind of the point of investing to begin with, is to keep up with inflation. But yeah, I digress. Back to the point. Sitting on cash is good. If you really don't like sitting on cash is good if you're waiting to make a move, if you're waiting to make a business decision, if you're waiting to, do something with it, fine, and you want to stack your money, and that's cool. If you're sitting on money, invest, put it in something, look, again, the T-bill. Again, my account's got, 100K plus usually. And so I'm letting my money just sit here because I'm not doing anything else with it. I don't need that much to day trade. I don't need, over 30 grand in my swing trades and investments. I just don't, I don't need that much, to be completely honest. I don't invest that much. And so I might as well let the other freaking 70% of my portfolio earn 5% a year, and then let the rest of it work more. Outside of bond returns, I'm up thousands of dollars on the year in the rest of my portfolio. And so when it all adds up, it's a pretty nice gain on the year, as long as it holds, Yeah, it might really be extended now. I'm not arguing against that. I think y'all could be right. I was saying this yesterday before we pulled back, is that I could agree, we might be extended now. Certainly could be. Again, I've been saying this the whole time, really, because I do my best. Like, people, I think some people that are really biased towards one direction, they act like I'm super one-sided, and I'm really not. Like, I always tell people the same thing. Anything could happen. Market could go up, down, or sideways. I usually try to give both perspectives, like bearish and bullish. Right now, again, market's up 40%, 30-something percent at least over the last couple months, over the last year plus. NVDA and other microchip stocks are super extended. Now, it doesn't mean they have to pull back. If AI really is that big technology, and maybe we learned something from 2000, so we can avoid something like that, it doesn't mean we have to pull back. But on the other side of that, we're up enough to where I haven't really been adding to any positions. I've mostly been taking profit in positions over the last few months, and I just don't trust the market enough to start buying in super deep in index funds or blue chips right now. I would rather buy pullbacks and dips and attack weakness as opposed to buying up when things are super manic right now and at these highs. But it also doesn't mean we have to crash either. Again, I could see both sides, and anything could happen. I don't know. $560 to $566 is the highest I can see the market going. You talking about 5,000, Jay? Yeah, so I'm looking up TLT a little bit more. I know what TLT is. It's long-term bonds, 20-plus year bonds. I'm trying to see how much they paid out in dividends over the last year. Yeah, so this is down a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like this as much. I get this as an ETF made up of longer term bonds. I just don't like investing in this as much. Over the last year, it's down 9%. Last 5 years, it's down 5%. Now, I know it pays dividends. How much does this pay in dividend payments? Yeah, Soxel is a microchip ETF, so it's up a ton. What is quad witching day? So quad witching day here, I'll write this down. Yeah, so technically it's only triple witching. All right, so this includes stock options, index options, and index futures. It used to, so it used to be a day in which 4 major types expired same day. So this included, so there used to be a thing called stock futures. How great would it be if stock futures were really there? Because remember, stock futures allowed you to trade the price action on individual stocks. And in the futures market, there's no PDT rule, so it essentially got you around the PDT rule. There's no such thing as stock futures anymore, so now it's technically triple witching day. So what it used to be prior to stock futures going away is all 4 major contract types expired same day: stock options, index options, stock futures, and index futures, right? So like S&P 500 options, S&P 500, the E-mini futures contracts, right? These would all expire today. Now we get triple witching, which is, we call it quad witching because that's its historical name. But today we have stock options, index options, and index futures expire today. There's no such thing as stock options anymore, but it is a historical day of volatility when weirdness can and does happen sometimes. And so, yeah. TOT should fall as interest rates go up and vice versa. Yeah, so the price should go down and the yields of it should go up, Blaze. So we don't really have an event today. We got some PMI data dropping later. Let me check. You know, the good thing about Bing is that it's connected. The problem with AI is that it's not accurate. I say, hey, is today the semi-annual monetary policy report to Congress? But I don't see anything today, unfortunately. So who knows when the next one will be? So people sell off their options and take profit and the price of the market goes down. Sometimes it goes up if we're referring to triple witching. All right, chat. Yeah, which range are you talking about, Jay? So somebody's saying you're talking about the S&P 500 ETF. The SPY? Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so that's what you refer to. Sorry. That CRM trade. Yeah, so remember, I bought CRM not that long ago. We bought it at 220s after earnings. You know, honestly, guys, I kind of get nervous telling you guys my strategies to make it. And again, I'm up thousands in the on the year with pretty small positions, to be honest. Like I'm up thousands on the year and pretty small positions. I'm up thousands on the year, and I get kind of nervous telling you guys my strategies because I know, like, the more I tell anybody them, I don't know. I just don't want them to stop working, to be completely honest. But I think the nature of my strategies themselves makes it so that it's pretty easy to get them to work, right? So I have a couple major strategies that you'll see me using, specifically swing trading strategies. And again, they've been pretty powerful, and so I'm going to go ahead and talk about them again. All right, so my strategies, I have day trading strategies, swing trading strategies, and investing strategies. All right, so we're going to pull this up. And so again, number one, day trading strategies, mostly trend trades, but I am heavily interested in attacking ranges on low on days. I'm attacking ranges preceding major economic events. Right, so again, I'm looking for trend trades, mostly using the volume weighted average price, the 200 EMA, and I am looking to attack ranges on days of big volatility. Right, so when was the last FOMC meeting? The last FOMC meeting was on June 11th and 12th. Right, so if we scroll back to June 11th and 12th, which was last week, here was the FOMC day. And so here was the opening bell on the FOMC day. I think this was it. And we also had CPI same day, right? So we had CPI, which kind of influenced it a little bit. But again, it's the same concept, all right? So here is, so yeah, y'all are an hour ahead of me on TOS. So this is noon my time. So let's look at 2 p.m. So here's 2 p.m. right here is 2 p.m. Right, so here's 2 p.m. Or no, I'm sorry. Here's 2 p.m. right here. All right, so here's the FOMC meeting, I think. Let me make sure this is right. And so again, stick around. I'm gonna break this strategy down. Okay, so no, so this is actually my time. So 1 p.m. is when this report came out. So the FOMC decision showed up here, right? So right here. So this whole area is when I attack the strategy I'm looking at. This whole area. And so one thing that you'll see, and again, I also did it preceding the FOMC meeting, but one thing that you'll see is that when we make a pretty big move up like this, like the strategy is very simple. Day trading is what this is. Again, I'm attacking trends, but when we have a big move up like this, right, on FOMC days, it's very plausible to assume that the market's not going to keep running preceding the big event of the FOMC meeting. The market's not going to continue pushing big levels high. And so when we start to get up here, I start to short the tops. I short the tops, and this is what I did too. I short the tops, right? And my plan is to cover towards the bottom of this range down here. You know, bottom of the range, bottom of the range, bottom of the range. And if I can be patient and wait for major economic events, this has a super high accuracy rate. Again, I'm not claiming it's going to work for you. Test it yourself. I can't guarantee anything's going to work. You're your own trader. I'm not liable if you lose. Always make your own assessment. Trade responsibly. I'm not liable. Okay. Not an investment professional. But what this allows me to do is get a really, really obvious sideways neutral range that shows up. And this happens almost every single major FOMC meeting. If you go back, it's not going to let me go back too far, but if I go back to the previous FOMC meeting, I'm saying preceding too much. If I go back to the previous FOMC meeting, you're going to see very similar price action. Even if we look at CPI, like I do it on CPI as well, this was CPI day also. Right? So even if I look at that, we're going to get a similar thing. We're going to get a similar thing here where leading up to CPI, we're pretty flat. Like we had a little bit of an upward trend, you know, but like I can short this, short these tops, cover at the bottom, short the top, cover at the bottom, short the top, cover at the bottom. Usually it's not always perfect. It's not always going to work exactly, but I can usually have a pretty high percentage play there. And again, as we get closer to this report, so really this is the time where I get the most heavy. So again, as we get closer to CPI, what am I doing? This is when I'm doing it the most. I know CPI drops here at 8:30. And so what am I going to do? I'm going to short the top, cover the bottom, short the top, cover at the bottom, short the top, cover at the bottom. And again, I'm always getting out before CPI. I'm never gambling on CPI because CPI will completely influence it in a different way. But I do this every time. It happens as well. Another time to do it is ahead of big earnings reports, but earnings are a little bit less likely for this to work. And so again, I can attack trends, I can attack ranges, and build up profits that way. And it seems to work, right? It seems to work. The other way in my swing trades is using earnings. So ahead of earnings season is going to start next month, like mid-July. Ahead of earnings season, what I'm looking for during earnings is like typically examples of this. Like I think Meta did this. Meta, I think, dropped all the way under 400 at one point in time during their earnings call. Let me see. Yeah, so Meta, in their last earning call, dropped all the way down under 400. It actually got down to 399. So it actually got down to here. You just can't see it because it was a pre-market, right? But it actually got down under $400. And so when I see a very healthy company, one of the biggest things that happens during most earning seasons is that you get wild overreactions short term. And so when Meta drops mixed results, it wasn't great. I think they were actually okay numbers, and drops 20% plus under $400 here. That's usually time. And again, I'm not going super heavy. The thing with this swing trading system is like I'm not going super big in any of this stuff. I'm not taking crazy big size. I'm not gambling heavily. I'm just looking for overreactions. And so when Meta drops under $400 down to $399, I'm going to buy that dip, and I'm probably going to do it a couple times. Like I did it not just with Meta. I think I did it with AMD. I did it with like 4 or 5 different stocks this earnings season, and I'm pretty sure I made money on almost all of them. I did this with Airbnb. I'm green on Airbnb. I did this with Salesforce. I got in at 220s on Salesforce. Salesforce, same thing. Salesforce dropped from their earnings report here. Again, I was able to enter at 220s. Way down here. Like, look, I my average on Salesforce, my exact average, and this is after taking some profit, but my exact average is 224s. And so I got in Salesforce literally right here. And again, I bought it after a major overreaction in earnings. I'm looking for big percentage drops in healthy companies that are probably going to be around in 5 years. I need big extended drops. Almost always you'll see the very same thing. And this is not just this last earnings quarter. This is almost every quarter I've experienced. Almost always you get a big overreaction and then you get a follow through bounce. You can look at Meta and see a very similar thing. I did this with Airbnb. I did this with Target. I did this with a lot of different companies. You look at Airbnb. Again, earnings here, big gap down. We almost always bounce back at least a little bit. I'm green here. We did it with Target. Same thing, Target, huge earnings gap down. We took profit on this rise. I think we're still holding a little piece. But again, even if it comes back down, we take profit on that bounce. We do this very often, during earnings seasons. And again, earnings season starts next month. This is something that we do a lot. Yeah, I did it with Snapchat a long time ago too. So I hope all that makes sense. The thing about this system, though, is that you can't get too stubborn. So if I'm wrong, I'll take profit. Like if something starts to, or I'll cut it. I'll cut my losses if I'm wrong. I'll get out quickly. I'm not going to stubbornly hold on to anything. And if I do hold on to it, it's usually because if I hold on to it, it's usually because it's not a huge position. And so it doesn't matter that much. I did this with Home Depot as well. I really like Home Depot. Yeah, I mean, we got 400 people here. My point is, I'm not worried about 400 people here. I'm worried about some sleazy guy start trying to teach my strategy to other people. And even though my strategies are pretty simple, but I think simplicity is powerful. Anyways. And again, I can't guarantee any of these are going to work. Figure it out yourself. But yeah. Yeah, I'm a big believer in diversification. So I'll do this multiple different times, and almost always 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5, 2 out of 3 are working for me. And so those compensate for the ones that don't, which are rare. Again, I've done the stocks I bought over the last couple months doing this. Shopify, I'm green. Roblox, I'm green. Airbnb, I'm green. Salesforce, I'm green. CVS, I'm green. I think I did it with Disney. I'm green. There's a bunch of them, to be honest, but almost every stock I bought that I did this on, I made money on. Uber, I'm green, very green on Uber, which is really nice. I might actually start taking profit on it as well. And so yeah, it's not always gonna work, but So here's the SPY, here's the Q, there's GameStop. NVIDIA's still trying, but NVIDIA dipped a little bit. Again, I don't think the dip's enough for me to want to buy. Sometimes they're crazy, sometimes they're flat. It just depends, man. Maybe it affects Bitcoin. I'm not sure. It could. Yeah, I think HIMS is up too much. I like the business model of HIMS, but it's gone up a lot, and I just don't trust it. It's gone up from $7.50, $5 at one point to $25. It's up ridiculous percentages. I'm just not trying to buy it right now. It's up too much. Not saying it's not going to keep going up. It might, but the risk is too high for me to want to invest in it. Also on IBM, I don't know enough about IBM as a company. I know what they used to do. I don't know what they do anymore. I don't know what justifies this price. I don't like it. I just don't know enough about it. I don't like anything I don't know. And so it's not that I don't like it. It's not like I think it's going to do poorly. I just don't know enough about IBM now. I know they used to produce computers back in the 90s. Somehow they're still around as a public company, but they don't produce computers anymore. So I don't know what they do. I'm not really trying to invest in a company I don't know what they do. Yeah, HIBS needs to come down. I'm not trying to buy that either. PayPal's interesting. I bought PayPal, over the last 6 months, I bought PayPal at 50s. I wrote it up to 60 something. I sold it, and then I bought it back again on the dip here. So I'm slightly down on my second trade on PayPal, only because it dropped from basically $70 back down to under 60. And so it's a pretty big percentage drop. I ended up buying it, although I can recognize that, I don't know. I think there's risks, but it's a small position. All right, guys. So all right, guys. Yeah, we're kind of looking up everything. Q is still sitting. Let me see how much is the Q down. So Q did have a dip yesterday, but we're still over these levels. I think 480 has looked interesting in terms of like support. 480 seems to be a support level. 490 is up there. We got 484s. What else we got? Yeah, that's what those three levels are what I'm looking at on the Q right now. We'll see if it holds. Let me put the 200 EMA up. See where that sits. Here's NVIDIA. Again, NVIDIA is another big one to watch. Microchips up a good bit. We're at 128.50s. So it did drop some. Yeah, so we got the political debates coming up. Oof. All right, guys. Yeah, the problem with Twitter is that like you watch a video and then it'll keep showing you a bunch of unrelated stuff over and over again. We do have the quad witching day today, which is a historical day of volatility, but we just don't have much going on now. Let me get out of the Quant Tower, exit out of here. I don't want lag. Exit out of this. Exit out of that. All right, so we should be pretty good there. Let's see. Exit out of that. Yeah, GameStop very kind of low volatility. Volume's kind of 3%. I can't expect a 3% day every day. Yeah, nobody can. Anybody that thinks they can doesn't really understand. So I know enough to know I don't know enough. Well, that's an interesting perspective. I think the problem with most people is that in trading, they immediately start to act like experts. You know, you got some people that are just obviously toxic on the internet. Like, I've honestly known a couple narcissists in real life. Like, looking back, I had some friends that were actually narcissistic. I could see, like, looking in hindsight, it was very clear, right? And like, you know, they're narcissistic because, like, when you look back, so there's a few common traits. One of them is a lack of empathy for other people, right? Delusions of grandeur are usually another one. Like, I had a friend who would always talk about how great he was going to do, like over everybody else. Like he would always talk about how great he was going to be. Anytime anything good would happen to like one of us, he would get upset about it, like noticeably like mad and genuinely upset. Anytime good things would happen to another one of us, like, hey, we got this pretty girl, oh, boo, we got this job, boo, right? So just clearly like getting unhappy over good things that are happening, which isn't really your friend, right? Ironically, like him and I fell off, and like in hindsight, he was very clearly narcissistic. Like his behavior was narcissistic, how he acted was narcissistic. His like everything he would do was selfishly motivated. So like he would steal checks from people and cash them. He would like just do all this ridiculous stuff, bro. And then the irony is that like after him and I kind of fell off and stopped talking, he became a Christian, which is fine. I'm not judging him for it. But very quickly after he became a Christian, like you could tell he was like a narcissistic Christian, So like he went from hey, all these great things are gonna happen to me, into then boom, becoming a Christian, and then basically going like, I'm God's chosen person, like I am the most enlightened out of all the Christians. Like you could tell, like narcissist beforehand, narcissist afterwards, but this time it was like biblically related, and it would just get worse and worse and worse until you just kind of got to start distancing yourself from them, and so yeah. So it's interesting in hindsight where you can kind of look at that and see it. It's hard to tell when you're there, though, man. Like, it's hard to tell when you're there. Yeah, the Dunning-Kruger effect is real in trading, which basically means that, like, people start to act like experts so fast where truly experienced investors and traders understand how little they know, right? Like I know that, you hear me say, hey, I don't know anything, I might be wrong, because anybody that's really paid attention to the stock market recognizes that nobody really knows what's going to happen. You could have the best probabilities ever and get bad variance, and the opposite happens, so like, and that's something that experience gives you. People that are new think it's easier than it is, and they think it's more predictable than it is, right? Like that's the biggest tell of somebody that's new, is they think it's simply more predictable. Like you get people, an example of it is you get people who during major economic releases, like CPI inflation is a good one, or payroll numbers, and they will say they know exactly what the number's going to be, that it can't possibly be this, it can't possibly be that. And again, that comes from a lack of experience. Most people that pay attention to like CPI reports or economic reports understand that it could be anything. And the market reaction could be even more, it could be even more unpredictable. By the dip in NVIDIA. I don't know if the dip is dippy enough for me in NVIDIA. They are like a baby if they don't get their way. Yeah, for sure, man. 100%. And ironically, I know another person that was in my life that behaved very similar to that. Where like good things would happen to you. And then again, there's a very common thing where if somebody doesn't celebrate my wins, they're not actually my friend, And I think that's true. I think that happens. What percentage is a dip for you? Yeah, I'm joking about not being a dippy enough dip. I need it to drop more. I'm in, number one, listen, I'm in NVIDIA right now. So I'm in NVIDIA. My average price at NVIDIA, I don't actually have an average price because I was in pre-split, so it doesn't actually show my average price. But for me to add more, I would need it to dip down to like $100, like down here is what I would want to buy, maybe right here. But I would prefer to drop to at least $100. My sister-in-law cried because didn't invite her to my mom's birthday breakfast. Yeah, but if her husband went, she might have felt left out. I can't, again, I don't know that situation, so I'm not here to judge. But if you invited her husband and not her, again, without knowing the situation, that's going to rub a lot of people the wrong way and be kind of like hurtful. Regardless of whether you like your in-laws, you got to just deal with them with reason. Do people count the pre-market climb when they calculate the percentage drop? Some people, it depends. I have Bitcoin. Do you want to buy? Tell me. It depends on your time frame. Yeah, it's hard for me to tell. All I can really see is what's on the internet of him, Joey. Her husband was at work and she called him on the job to let him know. Yeah, I mean, if her husband's not going, I mean, like, yeah, it's such a new one. That's a tricky thing, that's a tricky thing. Because in-laws, yeah. It depends on whether y'all invited other in-laws. Like if you've got another sister or if you've got another brother and her in-law was invited, but not that one. It can get really, bitterness can thrive. Yeah. But so Joey says about your friend turning Christian, if you still act the same way, just trying to use it. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell. Like I said, I can only look at what happens online. And again, I removed him anyway. But you can kind of see the path where, like, you could see his reasoning where he had kind of delusions of grandeur prior to this happening. He told everybody how great he was going to be, and then he didn't. And honestly, you could tell he just made terrible decisions. Like his decision making was horrible. Like I remember he made a bunch of money one day. He decided to go to the casino and bet it all on one blackjack hand, and then when he lost, he got really mad at everybody else. Just dumb, just not smart, like, but again, I think some people are like that. I think, I'm very big on like building boundaries, you gotta have boundaries for people. I'm not gonna jeopardize my happiness or success or what I got going on to just because you're my friend. If you're doing bad stuff and making bad decisions, I don't want to have anything to do with it. I just want to stay out of it. These day trading is simple in terms of affordance, so that people think it's simple in terms of finance. Yeah, I mean, sometimes. Day trading is not simple at all. It's actually incredibly complicated if you do it. But I think the problem is that people have small accounts. The real problem is that people want to day trade before they have large enough bankrolls to do it. And the real other problem is that, like, day traders typically, the ones that are gravitated towards day trading are actually the ones that are struggling financially. And I say it once, I'll say it again. If you're struggling financially, you should not day trade. Day trading is the last thing you should do. You should put it in a savings account. Because the likelihood that you're going to lose whatever you invest into it is 80% plus. Those are terrible odds. So, like, if I have 5K and I know that putting it somewhere is I have an 80% chance of loss, I don't want to do that, But again, I did it as a new day trader. The problem is the marketing that's out there. You got people marketing courses and mentorship programs acting like day trading is easier than it is to justify selling people sleazy courses. And that is what catches a lot of people. And people that don't understand the sector of day trading don't understand how bad it gets, you know. But, you know, maybe you got some people that do it and they end up to be successful, but it's certainly less than 10%. Yeah. NVIDIA is getting a dose of reality today. And yesterday with the AI model, I think is too powerful in the minds of investors to let it retest those old zones. I think it's moved on. Possibly. That might be true. Again, I'm in it right now. I'm just not going to add to it right now. Yeah, I agree. Investing is better. I have an easy things our whole family doesn't understand. Yeah, with politics, man, I always try to say the same thing, which is the more radical you get on either side, the less intelligent you probably are. You know, maybe I shouldn't say that. Again, I'm very neutral politically, though, and that's just kind of a joke. I don't know if I even necessarily believe that, but you know. If you start to argue with random people about it, then you're doing too much. You know? Oh yeah, I know crypto's even worse because crypto's more unregulated, right? And Bitcoin is doing well. Bitcoin at 64K. Actually, it pulled back. I thought I just looked at Bitcoin. Maybe this was a couple days ago. Time moves quickly when you run a channel like this. Yeah, Bitcoin, it's been between 60 and 70K. I mean, Bitcoin almost to lifetime highs. That's when you say good day, sir. Yeah. Yeah, we have some crypto investments for sure, but I'm naturally more of a stock market guy. Like I like the stock market a lot more, but everybody's different. What's the impact of quad witching? We don't know. We can only speculate on it, which is, you know, quad witching, again, as it says here, all 4 major contract types expire. Yeah, so did y'all hear Ryan Garcia finally got his win overturned, and he got a boxing suspension? I'm torn on it, man. So like, okay, Ryan Garcia, so the levels that they found in Ryan Garcia of ostarine were not high enough to justify we're not high enough to give him any real athletic advantage, right? And this is what people are missing out on. Like the levels they found in Ryan Garcia, the levels of ostarine were not enough to give him any real athletic advantage. All right, but like Devin Haney's side has cried and cried about it and cried about it because they're desperate to still be undefeated, right? But what this most likely was a tainted supplement. Like if you buy supplements, sometimes they have these things in them, right? If you buy supplements, sometimes they have these things in them, and these supplements being tainted happen pretty regularly in combat sports and sports in general. And so I'm torn on it. Like I get. Like Ryan Garcia, the levels of ostarine were not high. And ostarine's not actually a steroid either, it's a SARM. But the levels were not high enough to give him any real advantage. So what that means is that like Ryan Garcia banged up Devin Haney like with skill, right? His skill is what did that. But I also understand Devin Haney's side, I guess. I just think it's kind of silly to act like Ryan Garcia won because of the SARMs that he had, which again were not any real like super high levels. That are going to give him any noticeable advantage. All right, guys. They have it at the close today, talking about when the contracts expire. Did he break the rules? I mean, kind of. Again, so I'm not saying I don't understand that, like I said. What I'm saying is that he had no real advantage from the ostarine based off the levels that he had. And I think if you're a Devin Haney fan, I mean, Devin Haney's not that good. Let's just be honest here. Like, boxing is full of can fighting. Like, so Devin Haney fought a bunch of cans, basically, and got his undefeated level. You know, and again, Tank banged up Ryan. So Tank is probably the GOAT right now. But yeah, I think people acting like Haney lost because of the ostarine are silly, right? Like y'all are just trying to justify your boy getting beat up. You know, but again, I'm not a Haney fan really. I think Haney is not that good. He's kind of like a defensive fighter. He's boring to watch. He doesn't have much power. Yeah. But also, I'm not really a Ryan Garcia fan either, you know. I'd rather see Tank beat both of them, which I don't think Haney will ever fight Tank, because I think Haney knows what's going to happen. I'm not a big fan of defensive fighters in that way. Hey, thank you, Mike. Perry versus Paul. I think it's tough, man. I think Paul will probably win. Paul's the better boxer, I would argue. And I know Perry, I think if it was bare knuckle, Perry would win easily as well. But it's not, you know. And so I think that with these gloves on, I don't know. I think it'll be close, though. I think it'll be a good fight. Perry versus Paul, I think it'll be a good fight. I think Mike Perry's not used to boxing gloves. And that's the problem, right? But who knows? No, he wasn't taking. He might have been taking stuff earlier. Again, I don't know. What I'm saying is that his levels when he was tested, which was weeks before the fight, were not high enough to give him any real advantage, and which signals most likely a tainted supplement. But again, like I said, I'm not a big Haney fan. I think Haney's boring to watch, and I get it. People root for him or whatever, but he's just boring to watch, man. He's not a fun fighter to watch. Garcia is much more fun to watch. Although, yeah, I think Garcia's antics leading up to this fight were stupid. You know. So yeah, I don't really like either fighter, but I think Haney acting like he's undefeated now is ridiculous, and I think people just have to accept that. Like, look, I get it being a fan of boxing, but I'm not a fan of Haney. I think Haney's boring. No knockout power. Super defensive, and I think he's fought a bunch of cans. You know. Yeah, I'm not even mad at Jake Paul for taking on these fights. I get it. All right, guys. Hey, NVIDIA down to 128s, Q at 480s, GameStop at $25. Yeah, I mean, UFC 303, it's unfortunate, but, you know, I don't know, man. I don't mind the new, like, UFC 303 still looks pretty good to me, to be honest. They need to take the Maria Silva Macy fight out because nobody cares about that fight. But I'm cool with Ian Gary versus Venom Page. I hope Venom Page KOs Ian Gary brutally. Dude, I'm so excited that Michael Venom Page is back fighting in the UFC. Or not back, but fighting in the UFC, bro. I've been a fan of Michael Page for a decade now. Crazy knockouts. Some of the coolest knockouts you ever seen. Kind of a karate fighter, but some of the coolest knockouts you ever seen, man. And he's a little bit older. The UFC ended up freaking like giving him a contract late in his career. And so I'm hoping he can still do things. But his last fight against whomever it was great. He looked great. People didn't like it, bro. He pieced him up, whoever he fought. I can't remember who it was. And Ian Gary's just dumb. Ian Gary literally... Yeah, I don't know. Ian Gary. He took his wife's middle name, Machado, for no reason. You know? I don't know, man. And then we got Anthony Smith, Carlos Olberg. Carlos Olberg looks like a monster as well. That'll be a good fight. We got Brian T. City Ortega versus Diego Lopez. That'll be a fun fight. Both of them look pretty solid. Ortega with the submissions, Diego Lopez with the striking. And then we got Pereira, who is obviously one of the pound-for-pound greats right now, versus Jiri Prochazka. That'll be fun, too. I'm excited for it. Anyways, I'll talk about fights all day if y'all let me. So I'm going to move back to the market. We got the Q dropping down, the Q at 480s here. I don't know if it's time to buy the dip. NVIDIA is still flat on the day. It's at 120s. Honestly, GameStop is very light, very boring. Yeah, but Perry's gifted at bare knuckle. Perry's gifted at bare knuckle fighting for sure. Elon Musk says any given AI startup is doomed to become the opposite of his name. He's obviously referencing OpenAI and ChatGPT. After it got acquired by Microsoft, it's now, yeah. Yeah. All right, so we're going to start to day trade here. Is that a Rolls Royce they're offloading on this truck? Microsoft has had a pretty good time, man. Microsoft up to 450s. I think I bought Microsoft's dip similarly. Yeah, so Microsoft's still around lifetime highs. Microsoft up to almost 460s. It's at 445s right now, though. All right, guys, NVIDIA down to 128s. Here, we're going to pull up our day trading account. I think we made money on this one yesterday, did we? No, we lost a little bit of money. That's all right. There's an actual funded account. We're down enough. Should we buy the dip? Again, we do have PMI data dropping. Let's put this up. There's GameStop. $6 trillion in options due to expire today. Yeah, it's quad which? You buy Bitcoin mining companies? No, not really. SIG, Michael, for sure. SIG, for sure. Yeah, we got 226s. We've got 365s. We got P238s. Yeah. PMI data. Yes, yeah, so we got Chicago PMI data dropping today, chat. So we do have Chicago PMI data dropping. So yeah, we got services and manufacturing PMI. So flash services and manufacturing PMI today at 9:45 market time too. So a little bit over an hour until that data drops. We'll cover it. It's not a huge release either though, but it's important. Like, it's important enough to watch. It drops at 9:45 Eastern Standard Time. All right, guys. All right, so we're cracking lows here. Again, I don't know, man. I've been kind of being contrarian with my day trading lately. I'm going to go ahead and buy this dip. Kind of a risky trade because we're kind of buying weakness. But we'll play with it again. I could also add one to this too. Yeah, I gotta cut it. So we're gonna get out. Again, I'll keep day trading. We have this account that we're not doing much with. Do you think PMI will have any meaningful impact? Maybe. Dude, there's the bounce. I was right about it too. You don't love to see it. And again, we are day trading on Apex right now. Again, for the time being, Apex just recently updated to a they recently updated to an 80% off sale right now. So you get Apex accounts 80% off sale, 1 day pass, and for a special time, for the time being, you get the 150K, 250K, and 300K challenges for $40 right now if you're using my link. $40, you got to use my link and coupon code BT. You get all 3 of these accounts, same price, $40. Even the top one at 300K, that's a great deal. Honestly, these are usually much more than that. And again, what they do is they give you a demo and they test your skill with a demo account first, right? So this one, they give you a 150K demo. If you can make 9K in profit without losing 5K, a reasonable ratio while following their rules and conditions, they fund you the same amount. They fund you 150K with a 90% split. It also comes with real-time data, chat. And again, if you were to pay for real-time data yourself, it's gonna cost about the same as this. So the value is there, it makes sense. It's a perfect middle ground of teaching traders how to trade with less risk. If you put up 4K trying to day trade with that, you're probably losing 4K. Realistically, you're probably going to lose 4K. Most day traders lose. And so what they allow you to do here is limit your risk. You're still taking some risk. You're still risking something. You're still learning how to trade under pressure, but your risk is much less if you fail, which is very likely. Again, most day traders lose. If you pass it, you get 150K up to 300K in funding, 90% split. You make 20K, you get to keep 18 of that, and you get to keep your first 25K in profit. It's just a great way to learn how to day trade with limited risk. Once you make enough, you can fund your own account, and you don't even need them afterwards if you make enough and withdraw enough, and they pay out millions. If I scroll up here, you can see they've paid out over $200 million, $205 million in total compensation for customers since 2022. Crazy amount here. One of the most legit in the world. Great way to help support the channel. And this is in the futures market, guys, where you can day trade short, no PDT rule. You can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, gold, commodities. Patterns are very similar to blue chip stock patterns. Very similar. There's just no PDT rule. You know, so again, if you haven't already, check them out. Great way to help support your boy here in this channel. Here's the link. Use coupon code if you want that max discount. Oh, also, and you get the $85 lifetime activation fee too. So it used to be $85 a month. For the time being, it's $85 lifetime activation. Lifetime activation. So that's a huge deal. Honestly, guys, I should have bought this dip. I was in it. I was in it right here too. I'm still kind of mad I didn't hold this trade because I was right. This is the hurt. I was right. I got in right there, chat. Look at that rip. I'm still mad about it. But hey, it's all good. All right, guys. I'm still kind of bummed. We're at the top of this range, though. I guess I'm going to short now, but a little risky. We're at $15, $20, 25. All right, so we just made most of our money back, so that's nice. We just made about 25 bucks. I'll have to go check, Sam. But I know, let me see the new updated rule set here. I got you, bro. Hold on. I haven't even pulled up Discord today, so let me pull it up. So, Pawn, if you send me some messages, brother, I didn't see them. I'm not even on Discord right now. Yeah, so we're at the top of the range here. I don't know what to do. I don't know if we're going to keep pushing up. I'm still kind of short biased right here. I just don't know what I want to do. Okay, gotcha, Sam. Oh, okay, you were answering. My bad, dude. Market crash? Where? I don't see it yet. I'm gonna buy this dip now. We're bottom range enough for me to buy the dip. I might take a little swing here too, because we're basically flat on the day. So I might start averaging in down as we start to flush, and then add to it. All right, so that's the last add. We're at the bottom of the range. We're back up to basically flat on the day. This is a little bit more than I was actually wanting to risk here. I like the bottom of the range movement, but it also looks like we're breaking down. Yeah, we're a little bit too low here. Again, I'm going to cut it. It's just too much breakdowns here. We'll switch accounts. We took on a little bit too much risk earlier in this day already, so all good. We'll put up Quant Tower. So we got up Quant Tower here. All right, so like I said, I'm pulling up Quant Tower. So we did take a trade off stream and make this back. I like buying it at the bottom of the range. And it looks like we were correct about this. So we're back green. Yeah, I'll show you the P&L. 60, 65. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that. So we're $25 green on the day. But I'm gonna pull up Quant Tower and play with that now too. Hopefully it doesn't lag me out too much. Let me see. Rhythmic. Okay, we're in. All right, cool. We got the Dow futures. Yeah, we got PMI data, you guys. We got PMI data dropping. All right, we're gonna buy this dip again at the bottom here. Chat, see if we can, flushing a little bit. We'll add to it, but we gotta be very ready to cut this if we need to. We're still flat on the day. All right, we took half off. Boom, locked out. All right, so we're up $85 on the day with some strategic positions here. This is a 50K funded account on Apex, funded account program. Yeah, GameStop, we're looking at GameStop at the top right. It's over 25s. You know, it got up to almost 26 yesterday. The range is starting to slow, so hopefully it holds. It's doing okay. Again, NVDA down here on the right. All right, so we're still at the bottom of the range. I kind of want to buy this up. You know, we'll buy it. I think I'm a little late though, but it's okay. Maybe add one more to this. There we go. We're up a little bit. Flat. 10, 20. $15, $20. That's nice. There we go. Nice. We're gonna cut that. We're up 115 on the day. So it's 9:45 actually, Fred, Eastern Standard Time. It's not at 9 a.m. It's at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah. Tensions in Pacific area are heating up. Yeah, maybe that means bullish action in oil. What do you guys think? Are oil prices going to go up because of all this stuff? Oil prices have already bounced up. What's up, Shepard? Yo, brave for trading today. Yeah, I'm attacking chop, which is kind of what we sometimes get for quad witching day. Yeah, the last one went kind of sideways. Yeah, I'm looking at oil. Oil is kind of up over the last month or so, or since June started, at least for the last 2 weeks. Yeah, my daughter and I are watching this movie, Waiting. She's a little bit young, though. I mean, she's 15, so. But, it's a hilarious movie. Honestly, what we teach her in that movie is, all right, look at this market ripping up. What we teach her in that movie is always be nice to the people serving your food, man. Like, never be rude to them. Like, you know, if they make a mistake, sure. But usually if the restaurant makes a mistake, it's not on the server either. Now, if they just never see you and you're sitting for 30 minutes plus with no service, that's different. But be nice to the people that serve your food. I know some people that almost have like a competition with each other on how to be the most rude to the server, you know. And it's horrible, man. First thing you got to teach your kid is have empathy for other people. Yeah, just be nice to people, 100%. Yeah, the one with Dane Cook, yeah. Yeah, again, we don't have any economic data today, chat. So the market, the data drops at 9:45, so that's in like an hour and 15 minutes. Again, I do know some people that are like the mean lady that just complains and complains and complains. Can someone explain to me what's the rationale of having no speed limits on German highways? How is this not massively endangering others? I'm going to tell you why. Is because the people who cause most accidents are people that are driving simply too slow. You get people that have like anxiety, and so they end up going below the speed limit. Some of them get in the left lane, which is a passing lane, and they sit there and they go like the speed limit in the left lane. And then when you try to go around them, they get offended like they should be stopping traffic so you can go only the speed limit. It's like they cause more accidents. They've done a lot of studies that have showed that more accidents are caused by people going too slow and people having to go in and out. Or if people just followed the rules, like, listen, go as slow as you want in the right lane within reason. But if you're in the left passing lane, if somebody's going faster than you and they're behind you consistently, get over, let them pass, you know, because you're causing problems, being freaking controlling about the road. You know. Be empathetic as long as it does not cost you too much money. I mean, within reason, you know, like I'm nice to people unless it hurts myself in any significant way. Of course, you got to look out for yourself too. It just depends, you know. El Rey, go to El Rey, ST. El Rey, Cuban and Mexican food's really good. What do you think SPY is going to do today? I don't know, man. The SPY and NVDA and microchip stocks dipped a lot yesterday. So as for what we're going to do today, I really don't know. Nobody does. We can only guess. I would say that short-term extension, we're on the downside. Like we pulled back a heavy amount yesterday. Maybe that means we get bounces at the opening bell. Maybe not. Long-term extension, I'd say we're on the upside. So, you know, I wouldn't be also surprised if we had big pullbacks today as well. Yet I've never heard of a cop giving a ticket to someone for not using a passing lane. Yeah, because it's not it has nothing to do with the law. Legally, you might be able to drive the speed limit in the left lane and nothing happens to you. But, like, it doesn't mean it's right. You know, it doesn't mean it's right. The laws are not what dictate the end-all, be-all of good and bad, right or wrong. You know, you're legally allowed to do a lot of things that are not morally good and vice versa. You're legally not allowed to do a lot of things that have nothing to do with your moral compass at all, right? So that's not the arguing, you know, factor you want to look at, I think, for this. Yeah, again, we got choppiness today. We're up some. I'm gonna short now. We got a little cushion on the day. We're gonna see if it gets this far, you know. We're running into a resistance level, so we'll add to this. Take half off there, lock it in, take the other half off, so now we're up 160 on the day, kind of slowly building up profit and cushion. It's called road etiquette and road IQ, 100%, yeah. Yeah, I just get frustrated because it's like if I'm in the left lane and I'm going faster than you, even if you're going 5 miles per hour over the speed limit, if I'm going faster, just get over in the right lane. Like, don't, like, you hear people say, I'm going 5 miles per hour over the speed limit. You know, you should just get off my tail. It's like, no, you should stop being passive aggressive and just let me pass you. You know, like, get over. Just let me go. Like, what's the point? You know, again, people trying to control others is what it really is. I mean, I'll go around you. But again, that's the root cause of accidents a lot of the time is people going too slow and having to go in and out like this because people want to be king of the highway and micromanage others. You know. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a rule, but usually I try to go with the flow of traffic, you know. Right, exactly, Blaze, 100%. Going the speed limit in the left lane, if the right lane's open, causes more accidents. I don't know what's moral or not, but... That's one of the best movies. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't rage at all, you know. Like, I'm not a big road rager at all. Like, I never really get upset at anybody. Usually you'll see people that are really upset, and, like, I usually just kind of smile and wave. You know, that bothers them the most. You know. Yeah, I mean, immoral might be a little too much. I'm not saying it's immoral. I don't think it matters that much. I just think it causes more problems than it solves. And so if you want to stop causing problems, that's one of the things you should do. But, you know. Right, 100% hitting in the wires. If somebody's going faster than me behind me, I just let them go, man. You know, it's kind of like if I see somebody on the road that's obviously drunk, I'm just gonna let them pass me. Why? Well, like, you know, you get some people that are like, no, I'm gonna stop them and I'm gonna get in front of them and I'm gonna brake check them. It's like, why? Just let them pass. Just don't have. It has nothing to do with anything. Just let them move on. I'd rather them in front of me than behind me. Same concept here. NVIDIA is starting to bounce back, though. NVIDIA is almost at 129s here, guys. It's still, the previous closing price is right at 131s. Is it worth trading today? I mean, worth is subjective. It depends on what your strategy is. Well, that's the right move, Nicole. She said the right lane is the equivalent of the left lane in the UK, and it's only for passing. If you stay there, you get a ticket. Yeah, for sure. Most of the accidents we see are caused by one driver being under the influence. Sometimes, you know. Sometimes it's just dumb people. You know, I think driving is one of the most dangerous things humans do on a regular basis, right? And so one thing that young people get wrong is, like, they drive dumb. They don't realize, like, you do it so much that it almost numbs you to how dangerous it is. And so driving is incredibly dangerous. It's one of the most dangerous things humans do regularly, you know. But we do it so much that we're numb to the danger in it. And that's what I try to teach my daughter is, like, look, when you drive, you know, you have to be very careful. You can't text on your phone. You can't sit on your phone. You can't mess around with your phone. You have to focus. I tell her, like, when you're young, you're going to get tempted to drive crazy by your friends, and they're going to act like it's cool to drive crazy. It's not. It's stupid, you know. And the crazier the drivers are, the dumber they usually are, you know. You get people that are just driving ridiculous. But, again, I don't necessarily think driving crazy correlates with going 80 and a 70, you know. I think that it's fine to go 80 and a 70, personally. But again, like most things, it depends. Yeah, definitely top 3 in the world. What do you think about Tesla puts and calls? I mean, what about them? Tesla's down a little bit. It was at 185s. It's back down to the 180s. Tesla's down on the year, though. I like Tesla as a company. The interesting thing about Tesla, I think, right now, if we're looking at the stock, is that Tesla stock, they have their robo-taxi thing in August. So not next month, but the month after that in August. They're supposed to announce their robo-taxi. Now, what does that entail? What do they mean by robo-taxi? Any guesses here, chat? What does Tesla mean by robo-taxi? They could mean completely self-driving cars where you don't even need a driver. That's what I would assume robo-taxi means. But, you know, it could vary in the definition. So, I don't know. What do you guys think it means? Point is, if it makes people excited, in theory, Tesla stock could move up afterwards. We don't know for sure. We can only speculate. But, maybe that's going to be a big propeller of strength in Tesla stock. Where the Cybertruck came out, the margins weren't good. It wasn't the biggest boost of stock price. But maybe this robotaxi event is. And if you got any more information on the robotaxi event, let me know. But I think that's something to watch for Tesla stock moving forward, just because it's happening over the next couple months. Yeah, I think so as well, Dark. But it's a two-seater, completely dedicated autonomous taxi. Can't say it's ready by August, but that is what it's meant to be officially. Yeah. Yeah, so this will be fun, man. So you're going to be using them to make money. So interesting. But again, if this is big, if this makes that big of an impact, Tesla stock might get boosted from it again. So I think there's certainly a trade idea of adding into Tesla now in anticipation of that event, especially with Tesla being red on the year. Tesla is down since 2021. And so with that, if robotaxis really are that big change in technology, maybe we get some strength. I don't know. Again, pure speculation. But I think that's a big nuance of Tesla stock right now that we should pay attention to. Yeah, earnings next month as well. Yeah, so the question is whether they can actually get this done. I don't know. I'm going to short this now. Back in the markets again. We're up about $160. All right, we're flat. Now we're flat. Green. I gotta cut it, so we're down again. Big dip in GameStop, maybe. Yeah, looks like cutting that was the right move. I'll sell it here. See, I got in late again. I wanted to short it a little bit higher. All right, so we cut it again, so we're slightly scalping this. Yeah, for sure, Blaze. And again, maybe that means Tesla stock will go down regarding under-delivering Elon. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm buying, not options, holding for years. I think that's the move. I think, again, if Tesla positions themselves in front of FSD, it's something I've said a lot, but if they position themselves in front of full self-driving, they're going to do really, really, really well if they get it done, right? But that's a big if. Certainly up in the air whether that's going to actually happen or not regarding Tesla. Big if, basically. So, yeah, we'll see. Why the MU pullback? Maybe in preparation for earnings next week. We're at the top of the range for the SPY, so we're just kind of sitting tight here. Again, we do have services and manufacturing PMI dropping at 945. Consumers are a lot smarter than picking EVs up used, if at all, and demand isn't even that high in the market. And as gas prices go down, people stop thinking about EVs. Yeah, but I don't think people buy EVs just for gas prices and mileage. I think there's a lot of reasons they do. I think that people buy EVs because outside of I got mine to save money. Personally, I think it is responsible. You do you, and it's a very fun car for the money I paid and next to zero maintenance. Yeah. You're right, but if you want to attract new people to consider EVs, they want to make it financial sense. Yeah, for sure. I get it. Market showing strength. I think they're right up until 9:30. Yeah. Blocking an opinion you don't like is not nice. Who did I block? Dude, you know how many people disagree with me regularly? You know, bro, people disagree constantly. So sorry, I'm dealing with like business stuff in the background. Tesla still over 180s. The question is, do we dip leading into Typing speed, yeah, I do about 100 words a minute or so. A little bit. On a good day, I do about 100 words per minute. I've done a typing test. Like, check it out. Like, I've done a typing test. And some are better than others. My last one, I think I had my best one ever. So we'll try it. Look, we'll see if we can get it. Again, I'm close to 100 words per minute. My last one was about 94. Dude, that messed me up. Yeah, so that's my results. It's not going to show me what they actually are. I'm not sure. Here, hold on. Let me see what this was. So they made me watch some terrible ad first. So let me get rid of this ad. Again, that wasn't my best one. I kind of messed up in the beginning. All right, so yeah, so today we did 82 words per minute, but you can actually see back in May, we had our best at about 93. So this was 82. Without those errors and mistakes, it could have been close, but yeah. So we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Luckily, unfortunately, unluckily maybe, there's no real way to monetize this skill. There's really not. There's no way to actually monetize this skill, so it doesn't really mean anything, I guess. Yeah, I think people buy EVs for a few different reasons. I think they're enamored with the technology, and what I mean by that is they don't do it to save money on gas. They don't do it to, have better emissions. I think they do it because they're enamored with the technology of EV. I think they do it because EVs are faster, drive themselves to a certain extent. Some of them do. Faster, drive themselves. It's a talking piece for people, kind of like why you wear a Rolex or something like that, right? It'll turn heads and make people talk to you, as well as it meshes very well with technology. Again, that's why people buy EVs, right? It's none of them are really for environmental reasons, I think. And if you look at the net gain versus loss in terms of mining lithium's not good. Like, it's not good. Like, mining the batteries, the lithium for the batteries that we use in EVs is not good environmentally. And so, again, with all of that said, though, I still think EVs are more efficient. They're faster. They drive themselves to a certain extent. The mileage typically is better. They mesh better with technology. And I think that's the selling point of EVs, not emissions, because I think it's a net neutral thing where the emissions we cause from mining lithium and the environmental impacts of that cancel out any gain you get from no emissions from, carbon dioxide and all the stuff that gets thrown into the air with internal combustion engines. So, yeah. So, JG, again, going back to your previous question, man. So, JG, again, you seem to ignore it. You said, where did you say it? You said banning anybody that disagrees with you. Blocking an opinion you don't like is not nice. It makes you sound egocentric, not a nice person, end quote. Are you talking about me, or are you talking about somebody else, sir? But internal combustion engines go burr. They do go burr, and I like the fact that they go burr, Even if you charge them from coal, they use the coal much more efficiently than internal combustion engines use gas. Big fishers are going to park their money on Apple today. Maybe. Apple's down some. Yeah, dude, honestly, I disagree with a lot of different people, brother. A lot of different people. And that's okay. Like, as long as you're respectful about it, I don't ban you. The only people I ban are people that I've never seen before that are usually, again, whomever it is must have been really kind of, something I'm doing is making them insecure. Because the only people I really ban are people who you can tell create fake accounts to try to troll me and just kind of, some of them are really obsessive and just off, like weird. Those are the people I ban. Outside of that, dude, I don't know how many people disagree with me regularly. Like Yair is an example of this. Yair disagrees with the direction. He's bearish. I'm bullish most of the time. He's fine. I haven't banned him yet. There's a lot of people that I pretty regularly disagree with. And again, it's all love. Like, that's the nature of the stock market. We're not going to agree on everything, of course. Like, we're not going to agree on stocks, on market direction, on everything. And that's the nature of markets. It's not a reasonable expectation for me to agree with everything everybody says, or for you all to agree with everything I say. It's just not something that is reasonable to expect. But it's all love either way. Top 3 most disagreeable people in the world right now. Funny fact, I did my wife brings this up now. I did a Big 5 personality test. It says I was high in creativity, high in intellect, low in agreeableness. Basically, I'm high in disagreeableness. Fun fact. And it said I was low in politeness and sensitivity, which was kind of a shock to me. I feel like I'm a pretty polite guy. But this test said I'm low in agreeableness, low in sensitivity. Basically, I disagree a lot and I'm not sensitive. I'm sorry, guys. Listen, I try. Apple is moving up, though. Apple at 211s. It went all the way up to 220s, though. Whomever blocked some of my messages today. Okay. We have disagreed before, never banned me. It's how you express different ideas. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. As crazy as it sounds, we kind of know this chat community. Right, for sure. Somebody that is just creating a fake account to troll is very obvious, It's very transparent. Like, it's very clear and self-evident. Top 3 least polite traders in the world right now. Definitely least polite ever also in the world. Anyways, guys, what else we got today? Here, let me mute this real quick. I want to listen. Oh, we are muted. Okay, so y'all can't even hear. All right, I'm going to listen to... Yeah, no, all good, JG. It's all good, brother. All right, looking at NVIDIA down at 127s. NVIDIA starting to flush. I don't know what I want to do with this here. Are we getting a mother of all short squeezes today? Maybe. Yeah, GameStop is utter-ish. I disagree, but that's okay. People think I'm weird, and I agree. Appreciate the channel, homie. You're one of the few early ones. Hey, thanks, brother. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, we try. We try to stream early. All right, guys. Look at this big dip here. So again, what I've been talking about, if you guys remember the strategy that I've used, if you guys remember the strategy I talked about earlier regarding ranges, perfect example of this, guys. Perfect example of this. I'm gonna unmute the music so you guys can hear it. But this is a perfect example. Like, I target ranges. All right, and so what I mean by that is, like, look, top of the range right here. Top of the range. What did we do? We shorted the top of the range. We might have missed out on a little bit, but there's the top of the range. You can kind of see the top. Like, if we stretch this out here, the top's pretty clear. You know, right here is the top of the range. You can also see the bottom. Bottom of the range, right? We got multiple confirmations in that top and bottom of the range. And this strategy, you know, again, I stopped. What would happen here? What developed the strategy? I would buy high of the day breakouts like a lot of rookie traders do. And what would happen? What would happen is it would just come right back down. I get dumped on. It would fake me out. And, you know, I'd lose money. A lot of new traders are just targeting high of the day breakouts. High of the day breakouts has got to be one of the worst freaking strategies I've ever seen. Anybody that's actually tried to trade high of the day breakouts understands, unless you're targeting like really low float penny stocks that are half the time just getting manipulated by insiders, it's just no edge. Low of the day breakouts work a little bit better, but they still don't work well, right? Where I would buy the low or I would short the low and boom, we get a big bounce back. And so again, I said, hey, I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to start looking for the opposite instead, which is I'm going to start attacking the ranges. If we're at the bottom of the range here, I'm going to start buying that up and riding the bounce, which is what I did here. You know, if we're at the top of the range, I'm going to start shorting that and riding the pullback, which is what I did. And again, it works. It works really well. I'm not telling you it's going to work with everything. I think it works the best when we have a reason to be sideways, like ahead of economic reports and data. Powerful way to trade it. But yeah, it works really well for me. We're going to keep trying it. Brother, can we discuss GameStop? Yeah, I mean, GameStop, guys. GameStop currently... GameStop currently, chat, is at 25.20s. So GameStop is up over 25s today. I think 25 is a big milestone level and needs to hold over. It's a $0.50 level. And I think it's a very important level that it needs to hold. We'll see if it does. I'm not saying it will. Yeah, but... All right, so again, we got PMI data coming out. Make sure we got S&P manufacturing and services PMI. $9.45, chat. So we got a dip. We're now halfway through the range here. All right. Let's do this. NVIDIA's bottom, I'm not sure. Nobody does. All we can do is look at historical ranges. We got the previous pre-market low right here at 126.70s. Again, we got Chicago PMI. Apple's breaking highs right now, chat. So look at Apple. Apple's moving up, just cracked highs of the day here. Let me put this up on screen so you guys can see it. Yeah, we'll see about GameStop. Also, guys, again, check out Apex. We've been day trading on Apex. You can see we're up $115 ahead of the opening bell today. Apex, again, for the time being, has this crazy sale going off where they have $35 universal resets. So you can reset any account on Apex for $35. All you got to do is use my coupon code BT, beginner trading, get you the max discount. Also, for the time being, you got the 150K, 250, and 300K, all $40, universally $40. Again, the 150K, 250, and 300, all $40. What they're going to do is, like this base 150K, they're going to give you a demo of 150,000, and they're going to test your skill with that demo account. If you can make 9K without losing 5K first and following their rules, they fund you 150K with a 90% split. You also get $55 in value real-time data. If you bought real-time data yourself, it's going to cost more than this most likely. And the greatest part is that it teaches you how to day trade with less risk. If you lose, you're out $40 here. It's not the end of the world. If you pass it, you know, you get 150K, 250, 300K in funding with a 90% split. So if you make 20K, you can withdraw 18,000 and fund your own account if you want using it. But the best part is that it teaches you how to trade under pressure. You're still risking something, but you're not risking thousands and losing potentially thousands like a lot of day traders do. I lost thousands when I first got started. It's a great way to learn. The patterns are very similar to blue chip stocks. There's no PDT rule in futures. You can day trade the S&P, NASDAQ, commodities, gold, stuff like that, oil, no PDT rule. And again, Apex is one of the most legit. They paid out over $200 million in compensation to their customers since 2022. They pay out almost $12 million a month. Great way to learn how to day trade. And again, I'll put this link up. They're a sponsor of mine, though. Remember, I'm biased because they pay me money, so I'm biased because of that. Here's the link. You can check it out. Again, you can use coupon code BT, get you the max discount. Also, remember, resets are only $35 right now universally. But again, understand CFTC 4.41. I do trade off stream. You're not going to see all my trades. Hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations. Guys, understand all these rules. And yeah, let's get started. We're going to try to day trade some more. We're still close to the top of the range here today. All right, guys, still at the top of the range. Apple's driving everything up, but NVIDIA's kind of falling down here. All right. All right, so we're still at the top of the range. I'm going to go ahead and short this. It's a little risky. We still got about 15 minutes until the opening bell. I will add to this, though. I just don't know if I think we're going to break these highs. I think we're at the top of the range. We're heading into the opening bell. And maybe I'm giving back all my profit on the day. Luckily, we do have a cushion that I can play into. I'm not going to add any more to this, though. Kind of a risk attacking the top. Yeah, we're gonna cut it. So now we're flat on the day. We took a risk. Yeah, we also have Quant Tower up, which we're probably gonna play with here too. And again, in this account, we are currently in the Dow here. We bought it right at the bottom. Look at that entry, guys. All right, yeah, we're gonna take half off there, lock it in. We'll go ahead and take the other half off, lock that in too. So beautiful trade here, beautiful trade. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see on the day on Quant Tower. This is a funded account on Quant Tower. We bought it longer term day trade here. So we bought it right at the bottom. You can see my gains on the day. We are up a cool. We are up a cool $800 on this account. See what else we got. $6 an hour. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big believer in starting your own businesses. Like, I start my own business, and it makes more money than anything I could do working for somebody else for the most part. So... All right, so we are shorting this. I'm not sure if you can see this. We're short at the top of the range. All right, so we're just gonna cut it. So we're up $85 on the day still in this account, but we'll put this Dow up. We've been trading the Dow on a longer term day trading. All right, sorry, I'm checking one thing. Sorry, I'm checking something in the background here. See if I can find. All right, chat. All right, Dow is still up. See, now we're breaking the top of the range. I don't know if I want to mess with it. So should I short again is the question here. I guess I'll try it. Shorting the Dow. Again, in this account, we're already up 800 on the day. I could also think about shorting the top one. The problem is we're at the very top of the range. I don't know if I want to risk too much of it. We're also short here as well. You can see we're up. We just made another. So we're up 145 in this account on Apex. 145. So help save the world, be a volunteer or mentor. I mean, I don't sell anything really. I have sponsors, but I don't charge. I'm not a mentor, I guess is the easiest way to put it. I don't even claim to be a good trader. All right, so we're down in this one. See, we're up about $800 here in this trade. I don't want to give it all back, though, and the market seems to be breaking highs. I'm just going to cut it, and again, you can kind of see my P&L. We're still up about 660, so we'll wait and see what we want to do on the rest. I'll come back to this account, which has kind of been the main account I've been trading. So these are 50K funded accounts. Yeah, I'm sure the GameStop implied volatility is up a little bit today just because it's quad witching day. So now we came all the way back down. Maybe it was just the Dow that ripped up that much and faked me out. I don't know. Also, I'm going to throw it in sub only mode as well. If you haven't already, hit the sub button. SNPR, is that SunPower? SPWR, I mean. Sketchy penny stock, I'm not interested in. Has a terrible long-term downtrend. I think they closed at the end of trading today, yes. NVDA down to 127s here. Is it time to buy that dip? I don't know. Let me exit out of some of this. All right, so again, we have PMI data dropping in about 15 minutes. About 15 minutes. I think it's at the close of the day today, but I might be wrong. Looking at my portfolio here. They're still green on the day. That's nice. Yeah, so NVIDIA broke back up. Yeah. End of the day, market wants to be in a place where most still holding options are out of money. Yeah, we're still at the top of the range here. Look at Apple fall all the way back down to 210s. All right, guys, we got the opening bell soon. Yeah, look at Apple bouncing right at the previous closing price. Market opens up in about a minute and a half here, guys. About a minute left, a little bit less than a minute. My portfolio is also bouncing back. Specifically, Nike is actually finally in the green. We've been holding Nike for a while, and we're finally in the green for it. Yeah, later, guys. We're kind of at the top of the range, so I'm not really trying to buy anything until we break past this top. So all right, guys, we got 25 minutes. There's 25 seconds, I mean. All right, chat. So there's the open. Big red action at the opening bell, right at the top of the range. NASDAQ dipping down some here. Yeah. So NVIDIA dipped. Apple dipped. No, Apple's actually moving up. Interesting. GameStop dipped. I'm going to let things open, play out a little bit. There's GameStop start to run. It's at 2540s here, chat. 2540s. We do have S&P Manufacturing and Services PMI today. Big retracement back up. GameStop's trying to run. Apple is up. Where's Tesla at? Tesla went up at the open and then pulled back some. Still in this range here, guys. Look at GameStop try to go green. Let's see if it does. All right, Tesla just broke highs, got up to almost 183s. It's dragging everything else back up too. Right, so there's a couple minutes played out. I'd like to buy this dip. Yeah, Palantir falling back down under 25s. All right, so we just scalped about $65 very quickly, very quickly. NVIDIA is over the VWAP. It's down short term. I think the short term momentum's on the upside, but the long-term extension's on the downside or on the upside. So downward momentum long-term. I should have held this a little bit longer, but that's okay. See, now we're bouncing all the way back up. I'm gonna short this. I think it's kind of risky though, but we got a big cushion on the day that we could swing into now. And we'll add another piece to it, see if we get that. Fall. All right, there we go. We took half off. All right, so we're up about $400 here, guys. About 400 bucks. We're also doing the same thing on this account too. All right, so we're gonna cut it. So yeah, now we're up over a grand in this account. And yeah. GameStop back technically green on the day, or at least close to it. AMC's down though. Again, we're attacking the sideways range here, team. That's what we've been doing. All right. Pretty good so far. All right, we bought this dip. All right, we cut it. We got out flat. I think we could have made money attacking it again, but it's all good. Let's see how much in this account I'm actually up net. All right, we're up about 1,000 on this one. Should have held that long position, man. Honestly, I've been really on point with the directions of my trades, and it's been very simple. If you guys watch my trades today since the open, we start to move down in a huge way. I buy it down here. I try to ride a bounce. Once we extend up, especially into like resistance up here, then we short and ride it down, and then we just kind of rinse and repeat that until it breaks. I think that edge is much higher than trying to target momentum. Like trying to target a range, I think just makes a lot more sense. GameStop now technically over the previous closing price, technically green on the day, almost up to $26 a share, almost up to 26 bucks a share. And we do have PMI data dropping in about 10 minutes. Yeah, look at this account. We're up $1,000 plus. Right, it's the opposite of what most traders do emotionally, 100%, right? Like this is, and I think this is the biggest thing people get wrong. Like momentum is so heavily preached in trading. Like ride the momentum, like ride this big breakout over highs, like ride this big breakout over this level here. And like they're acting like you should buy it right there. I think that is the worst thing you could do. Like buying something here as it breaks a high, like the likelihood that it's gonna go something like this. Hold on. If this is the high of the day and you buy it here, right, the likelihood that it's going to go something like this is very, very high. Like very, very high, right? It doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. It makes much more sense to me to, if something's going like this, shorting this and buying this down here makes the most sense. And then if it breaks, I can just get out, you know? That makes way more sense to me. And that's what's been working, honestly, really well. Like even today, right? Like today we've been kind of back and forth in this account right here that y'all see. So in this account, we've been pretty back and forth. But in terms of like profit today, here's my P&L. Like look, so here's today. So today we are running 66% accuracy. Here's my graph. So like, yeah, we've been doing pretty good. If you look at my profit trends here today, like we've been kind of back and forth. But yeah, I think it works really well, and I use this strategy a ton, especially on days like today where it's quad witching day and we got like choppy, like it's a day of historical choppiness. Like I think that makes a lot more sense, you know. Getting back down to the bottom of that range. Watch NVIDIA here. There's Apple. There's GameStop finally. So GameStop came back down to the 200 EMA. Yeah, today's quad witch, which is a historical day of volatility. Also, guys, if you haven't already, check out Chart Prime. Chart Prime, trading view service you could use in stocks, crypto, Forex, futures, anything with a symbol on trading view, you can use it. So if you want some help with your trades, again, check them out. It's a really cool platform because what it allows you to do is see like where the edge is, in my opinion, you know. And again, I can't guarantee you're gonna make money. They're a sponsor of mine as well. They pay me money, so I'm biased. But there's a lot of stuff that they offer. So like anything with a symbol on trading, you can use it. They have screeners, oscillators, back testers. I like using the Oracle and the Dynamics Pro. This shows me wedges, extension, reversal, stuff like that. Like look at the signals here. So these can be just really powerful. Like you gotta wait until they work. But like look out. So this is a 5-minute chart. All right, a 5-minute chart. Look at the strong signal showing up here. Huge rip. Look at the sell signal, days of red action. Buy signal here, you got a nice little follow through. Sell signal there, you got a nice little follow through. And so you can use these on any time frame. So that's a 5-minute chart. Here's an hourly chart as well, right? So here's an hourly chart. So like look at the hourly chart. I was honestly really impressed by this. And so here was their latest one. The last signal on the hourly chart showed up on the 20th, so a day ago. And look, since that signal showed up, and this is an hourly chart, so this is like longer term. Nice little follow through. This is like a 24 hours of red action since it happened. And so you got to figure out what time frame it's working on. It's not always going to be working on any time frame, but if you back test it, it's impressive. Look at the strong signal showing up here. Huge days, like multiple days of green action. Look, let me show you guys this one. I think you're missing it. Look, days of green action. Sell signal showing up here. You got a little bit of a follow through. Maybe even if that one didn't work, right? Like look at the strong signals here. Look at the sell signal. Days of red action. This one maybe didn't work, but look at this one. Beautiful bounce, beautiful bounce. And so if you set up a risk management system, look at this one here. Beautiful bounce. If you set up a risk management system, you can find some really good edge, really nice edge. And again, this is just a small piece of what they offer. It's $40 a month. One good trade can pay for it. Even if we zoom in, and again, nothing's going to work every time. Like here's a 2-minute chart. So let's see if a 2-minute chart's working. Honestly, I might want to check out the 2-minute chart too, because this looks very nice. So here's a 2-minute chart right now for Chart Prime. So again, let's back test the 2-minute chart. Buy signal here. Nice little follow through. Sell signal there. You got to follow through. Strong buy signal there. Beautiful follow through. Sell signal there. It looks like a dip. Well, let's call that one not working just to be safe. Strong signal there. Follow through. Strong signal there. Follow through. Buy signal there. Follow through. Strong signal there. Follow through. And again, so that's one. We're starting at that one right next to the yellow dot here. So that's one that didn't work. Let's keep going. Buy signal there definitely worked. This one, it looks like it still works. So you got 2 or 3 really nice candles. Strong buy signal there worked. Strong signal there worked. Strong signal there worked. Strong signal there. It's a little bit too early, so we'll skip that one. But again, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I see one of these on the 2-minute chart that didn't work. One of them. Again, I can't, it's not always going to be like that. Test it yourself, but it's really impressive, to be honest. I was always kind of skeptical of companies like this, but once I checked out their software, I was impressed. But again, I'm biased because they pay me money, so they're a sponsor of mine. They pay me money. I'm biased. If you want to check them out, here's the link. We didn't miss the New York Stock Exchange open. It opened up at 9:30. Data's coming out in 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, chat. All right, guys, here we go. Let's see what this data shows up as. Again, PMI data. So services and manufacturing PMI. I don't know how big of a release this is going to be. I really don't. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a huge release, in all honesty. But maybe it is. I don't know. Why does it say the Fed's monetary policy reports today? All right, guys, here we go. We got 2.5 minutes. All right, guys. 2 minutes. 2 minutes left. You know, honestly, we're up so much in everything. I'm going to pause trading now unless I attack choppiness, just because we do have this report dropping in 2 minutes and I don't want to get stuck in choppinesses. Hey, thanks, Ashlyn. All right. Hey, we got about a minute left. Guys, about a minute left. But again, pretty good day all around in my accounts. This one I'm still red on, so just to put this in perspective, this account I am still red on. I still need to work on this one a little bit more. All right, guys, 45 seconds. Chat, 45 seconds. All right, we're back down to the lows. We got 30 seconds left here, team. You know, so it's saying the Fed's monetary policy report is today, but I don't think it is. Like, I want to make sure I'm not getting this wrong, but I don't think it's today. All right, guys, 10 seconds. All right, so again, services PMI expected at 53.4, manufacturing PMI expected at 51, and there's the report. All right, 55, higher than expected universally. 55 for services, 51.7 for manufacturing. So both of them were higher than expected. Now, this could be interpreted in two different ways. Economic strength for more manufacturing numbers, but also more manufacturing could mean more production and ultimately lower inflation, because the more supply, the less demand and lower inflation. It could be interpreted either way. So far, we've got a slightly negative reaction to this, a slightly negative reaction. But again, I'll put this up on screen so you guys can see it. All right, so American Airline also suspends trading. So yeah, so again, higher than expected universally for this number. I'll put the numbers up on screen. Services PMI came in at again, services PMI came in at 55.1 versus 53.4 expected. Manufacturing PMI showed 51.7 versus 51 expected. Here's the data right there. Again, y'all hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Markets have so far reacted slightly negative, but it's not a huge release, so it's not the big. So the other thing I'm trying to figure out is the Fed's monetary policy report today. I don't see it scheduled anywhere. So we got U.S. Bank. Definitely not the House Services Committee one. That last one was on, let me check Twitter. That's probably the place. All right, so markets are dipping down a little bit after this. Yeah, so I get people posting that we have the monetary policy report today, but I don't see it. Is it today or no? Tough to tell. I see a lot of places posting it. They say the monetary policy report is supposed to be at 11 a.m. Eastern time, so it's now about 10. So that would be in an hour. But the problem is I don't see it scheduled anywhere on the Fed's website. Typically, what happens is that Jerome Powell does a semi-annual monetary policy report to Congress, meaning to the House and Senate. First, he usually does the Senate, I think, and then he does the House. But I don't see anything scheduled here anywhere. The last one was on the 21st and 22nd of June in 2023. But I don't see it scheduled for 2024 anywhere. I'm checking the House and the Senate site, and I don't see either one. It'd be at the Senate Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs. And then what about the House? Checking both sites. None of them have anything about. So unless they're trying to do it and trying to kind of sweep this under the rug. Well, it's a semi-annual monetary policy report, so it happens multiple times a year. At least twice a year usually, with Powell speaking. But I would assume if Powell was going to speak, they would do more, like, they would have more updates about it, and I don't see anything. Now looking at the schedule, yeah, and I don't see anything for today. Not in terms of the House. I don't even think. I wish the Senate did a schedule. And so if it was today, I would assume. Yeah, I see nothing for today. Let me check on YouTube if they streamed it last time. First they did the Senate. I don't know if they did the House or Senate first. Yeah, so here's the semi-annual monetary policy report to Congress. Alright, so this is House. So that's the Senate. The House is usually a little bit better about these things. I'm looking at what they got scheduled here. Yeah, they don't have anything scheduled. They got housing oversight. So I'm assuming this is going to be in July. Yeah. We'll see. Chat, we'll see. Yeah, I don't think Powell's speaking today. I can't find anything about it, right? And usually these things are up. I can't find anything about Powell speaking. So it's all good. Again, if you want to join me, check out Apex. Apex is a funded program in futures. They give you a demo. They test your skill with a demo account. If you pass the test with the demo, they fund you between $25K up to $300K with a 90% split, and they pay out millions. They paid out over $200 million to their customers since 2022. Great way to learn how to day trade. Limited risk. If you fail, you're down $40 right now for the 150K, 200K, 250K, and 300K challenges. And so again, your risk is $40, but if you pass it, you get a ton of funding, 90% split. In the futures market, you can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ. That's what you see me day trading here. You see I'm up 370 on the day. Check them out. Again, they're a sponsor. I'm biased. Y'all have a great weekend, safe weekend, a happy weekend, and we will be back next week. Next week, we got some stuff going on. We got GDP data and PCE data. We got PCE inflation data, which is actually the Fed's preferred inflation metric. So PCE data drops Friday next week. Next Thursday, we got GDP data. So GDP Thursday, PCE Friday, big day, big week. Y'all be ready. I'll see you guys later. If I don't think Powell's speaking today. I don't think the semi-annual monetary policy report to Congress is today. If it does turn out to be today, I will live stream it. And so I'm going to research it to be sure, but I do not believe it's today. I can't find it scheduled anywhere on a government website, anywhere. And so I'm pretty sure I'm right. Y'all be good. Have a great day. Again, if you want to check out Apex, use coupon code BT, and it'll get you the max discount. Anytime you want a max discount on Apex, it'll get you the max BT coupon code. Y'all be safe. Remember, they're a sponsor. They pay me money. I'm biased. Understand CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated results have limitations, all that good stuff. Y'all be safe. I love you all. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next week.